Monday morning. It is the first day of August 2016. Probably shouldn't date my videos for YouTube, but anyways, I wanted to talk about why does a narc lie? How do they do it? You know, a lot of people lie and they aren't necessarily narcissistic. They got a problem, okay? Good morning, everybody. I'm seeing who's coming onto this chat room. So it's interesting though, because it's pretty easy to lie when people don't know the truth. So what the narcissist does is they are used to controlling their environment. They're used to manipulating the people around them. But in order to generate a lie or present a lie and make it stick, they have to manipulate the environment to create confusion. And there's lots of ways you can create confusion. And of course, if you're a good empath or codependent, you are going to doubt your own ability to see what is going on, and you're going to give the benefit of the doubt to the abuser, and you might not even, and the abuser's going to want answers quick now, hey, well, let me know what you need to make a decision now, it's, one of the signs that you're being manipulated is you're confused. So maybe you had a situation where you knew what happened, you pretty much knew what happened, and then the manipulation comes in, and the manipulator will want to try and discredit what you saw or what happened. And you can tell that manipulators are trying to manipulate you when they don't even give you credit for what you may have seen. In other words, somebody, I want to use an example that's really fresh on my mind, but I want to keep, okay, so if somebody is trying to change, let's say you've got a neighbor and they've got a yappy dog, and I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example here, but basically, I know exactly, it's very clear cut in my mind what I'm trying to say, but there's some other things that I don't want to bring into it yet. What I'm saying is, if you've got problematic behavior in, trust your gut, trust your judgment, and then verify it with somebody else. Maybe, if you're really questioning whether you're doing the right thing, like if you're going no contact with this problematic person, and you want to check it with somebody in here, or just bounce an idea off somebody and say, hey, look, so-and-so has, done this, and they say that they didn't mean it, but, they done this to this person, and I found out they did it to this person. It's like when my narc told me, I said, she was having affairs, and I said, was this the only hotel room? And she's like, she didn't answer me, and she didn't answer me directly because she knew that it wasn't the only hotel room that she bought outside the marriage, okay? And so, and instead of, because see, one of the signs that a person who's problematic, that's trying to manipulate you, will say is that they won't say they're sorry. A normal, healthy person would say, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, do you think I'm trying to do that? Or no, that's not, no. oh, please, I can see where you would think this way. See, the normal healthy person will validate your feelings. They will say, oh, I can see why you felt that way, basically, right? You know, but a problematic person will just be, you know, they'll make a big scene and, you know, I can't believe you'd think this of me. They won't ever say they're sorry, though. Or if they do, it's really weak. And, you know, as empaths, we can kind of pick up on that. But that's a big red flag is when somebody can't validate your feelings and say, I can see how you feel that way. I mean, if somebody is really trying to persuade you that they really did not, that they really thought they were doing the right thing and they weren't, what we would call an honest mistake, they would say, gosh, I mean, I can see how you feel that way. I'm really sorry. I mean, I don't think I wasn't trying to come across that at all. A manipulator is going to put it on you that you just don't understand. You don't know all the facts, and no, you don't have to know all the facts to everything. And that's the other thing as an empath is that the abuser will make you think that you just don't know what you're talking about, right? Well, you're never gonna. And they say, well, you don't know all the facts. Well, folks, we don't know the facts to everything. Well, if something comes up, we'll never know the facts to everything, but we still have to make decisions to protect our boundaries. And you know what? If your gut is telling you it ain't right, protect it, okay? Especially if it's with somebody that you're not really going to see again, or it's something that, I mean, you don't have to be everybody's friend, okay? And I'm talking to me, all right, when I'm talking to you, because I got the same issues I think a lot of us have here. Is that I've got this good person image of me, and it's like the only thing that I've got, like that I'm special. Okay, it's not, but this is how I think. Okay, and gosh, if I'm not nice, people perceive me as mean, then I'm just going to be devastated because then I don't have anything. Then people won't want to be around me, and you know, everybody will leave me. Okay, well, that's a lie, okay? People will respect you when you stick up for your boundaries. When you know who you are, people are drawn to people that are very confident, and it's a quiet confidence. It's not a cocky. When we say confidence, a lot of people think of this, you know, person who can walk into a room and boast and, hey, everybody, you know. I mean, that's somebody who is very socially gifted. They like talking or whatever. But a confidence comes from somebody that knows themselves, that is very purposeful. And people are drawn to other people like that. Okay? So my point in all this is, the video is why narcissists lie. And they lie because that's all they've done. The truth is hard. The truth requires accountability, okay? And so when you've been lying all your life, when you've been able to manipulate the facts, and you get really good at it, if you've been doing it for 30 years or 40 years since you were a kid, you're going to get really good at it. Hi, everybody. I get little people saying hi on the bottom here. So they're going to... they're used to that, okay? And the truth is not as important to them as it is to you. You know, as empaths, we kind of balance the books every night, okay? We kind of, at least I know I did, like, part of me growing up was when my head hit the pillow, I couldn't have done things to people that I felt bad about because it would just hurt me. I mean, I would be so upset I wouldn't be able to sleep, right? Like, we balance the checkbook at night. You know, we, in our mind, of all the stuff that happened during the day or whatever, we you know, as an empath, I know for me, I just knew that I just had to be truthful with people. I just had to be honest. And so What's interesting about me, and this is something that might apply to your life, is that I got into sales. I've worked in sales for a long time, and most people are familiar with sales like retail sales, where you go and there's a car salesman, and they've got pressure on them to sell, and so when you walk in the door, they're not letting you leave until what's it going to take today, but really, and so what people will do in sales, and I've done this, and I don't like that I did this, okay, but I've compromised my values. Now, were my values realistic? Could I be honest with everybody, or did I have to have some type of social grace where I would somebody, I'm not going to call, when I first see somebody and I think that outfit looks ridiculous on them, if I don't know that person really well, it's not in my place to say, no, don't wear that, that's just awful or whatever, because they have boundaries too, right? I respect their boundaries, so I'm not going to do that. That's one thing that we're good at as empaths. We might not be good at it now, but we respect other people's boundaries more than we respect ours, right? Because we will maybe not call out the problematic person, but yet we will let them walk all over us. That's the only way I can describe it. That's the best way to describe it in a nutshell, is that we kind of let people walk all over us. And again, I think it's that fear of being looked nobody's going to love you, right? Well, gee, if I stand up for myself, no one's going to love me, because nobody's perfect around me, and so here's the thing: if you stand up for yourself, you're going to let that person know really quick that maybe there's not a good fit. Maybe the people in your life that you have up till now, I know I found it out, maybe the people in your life that you have up till now see you as an empath, see you as a codependent, and they're very comfortable with that. That's what's drawn them to you. And now you're changing, and now you're like asserting your boundaries. You're in the most obvious boundary violator that you have in your life is your abuser, or is your problematic person, is the narcissist. And now you're starting to assert yourself, and then you're calling out people's bad behavior, because at this point you don't flip and care. Okay, you've gotten to that point where you get angry and then you don't care. I mean, you do care, but in essence, your demeanor, your attitude, you're just so sick of this that you just don't care. You're like, fine, go, I don't care. And the abuser's like, well, I'm really going to leave this time. He's like, go, I don't want to talk to you ever, And so what you start to do is you start to find out that you do that with people in your life, and I'll say the bad ones, the ones that are not helping you, they go away because they're not getting anything out of the relationship anymore if you're sticking up for yourself. Now, your real friends will respect your boundaries, and they'll actually get closer to you. You actually get people that will be better friends to you. You'll have a few better friends than 20 so-so friends. And when I say so-so, like more like acquaintances. So the thing with me is that I thought I had to get everybody to like me, but that was like part of my upbringing. That was part of how I survived, how I prospered in the world, how I would calm those anxieties. And that's another video for another topic. But I think what happens with us is we all have that anxiety that crops up with us, where we're afraid. That's that fear cropping up that we're going to lose the love of people in our lives, and we might not even call it love, but it's attention. We might lose that focus. Somebody's not going to be talking to us anymore. And the thing with the problematic person is they've flattered you so much, they've talked and said how great you are, blah blah blah, they do it just to get in your life. They do it because they want it. They want you like agreeing with them, and you know if you're like this, you know, you don't want to lose their friendship. Well, you're gonna keep agreeing with them and everything. But I'm like one of the points I had to get to, and I just alluded to it earlier, was I had to get to a point where it really didn't matter if somebody was in my life or not. It had to get to a point where, you know what, if everybody leaves my life and they're not friends with me, that's okay, because I'll meet new ones. In other words, it's this mature feeling that, or facing fear that, you know, just where I am today doesn't mean that's where I'm going to be tomorrow. Just because if I lose these friends now doesn't mean I'm not going to make new ones. It's that abundance type of attitude. And when you have that attitude, I'm telling you, it works. I mean, it's like there's so much out there. There's so many people out there. There's so many new friends. I met so many new friends the last year. I've met more new friends in the last year thanks to Facebook and the internet and online here than I have ever. I mean, ever in my lifetime, up until this point. Okay, I've only had. I mean, I've had people coming in and out, but there's so many people out there, and now that we have new ways to connect, you're never going to run out of friends. And you'll be able to weed them out. You'll be able to get to the real friends, because the real friends will stick with you through thick and thin. And the other thing too is you can have temporary friends. Friendship ebbs and flows, right? If things are going great in your life, honestly, right now where I'm at, I don't really need a lot of friends. So what happens when I don't need a lot of friends? When I'm okay with me, right? Because the reason for friendship should be to build up parts of you, build up character, build up, enhance your overall experience here. It shouldn't be to work something out, work out some childhood issues, or work out some issues that, you know, it shouldn't be to be able to dump on somebody. I mean, I've got different things going on here, different thoughts, but I guess the main thought I have is that personally, me, I'm at a point where I don't need a lot of people, so the people that I let in, it's cool. I mean, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna let that person in. I mean, I've got friends on Facebook, but am I good friends with all of them? Do they all have to like me? No. If somebody does something like behind the scenes that I don't approve of, and I'm like, that's not my type of friend. Because I already know, right? Okay, this gets back like a little lesson here. Because I've already defined what type of friend that I want, and you may have to do that now. You know, once you go no contact with the narc, that's when you sit down and you define your boundaries. You like, part of your boundaries are like, what kind of people do I want in my life? And you know, maybe back when you were in 8th grade, or maybe when you were 15, your parents may have raised you a certain way to say, you know, one thing about your parents, maybe my parents anyways, is they were people of character. My dad was very cautious of who he let around him and his family. And you know what? Here's the thing. I got back to that. I am at that point now. I am like my father in that. Your parents have good traits too, you know. My parents, okay, I'm speaking about my parents. I see the good in what they've done. And what I'm saying is they instilled in me, and you may have this too, where if you're here, then there's part of you that is, okay, if you're here and you've stayed here, okay, and you're learning here, there's part of you that knows that there is a growth, and I want to say good way to do things, but I'm going to hesitate on that. I'm going to say good for right now. There's a good way to do things, and then there is there's a not so good way to do things. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that you know, where you're at now is not where you're going to be forever. If you don't have any friends right now, say in the real life, work on you. Work on the type of person that you see yourself. You don't know how you're going to see yourself. You don't know what you want? Read. Read. Go and delve deep into parts of you that are left from the narc. Take the little parts of you and go, I like it. I like helping other people. Okay, what is it you like helping people with? I like helping people. I like making people smile. Okay, that's good. Can you do that in a healthy way? Or do you have to have somebody spoon feed you and say, oh, we're soulmates. You make me feel so good. Okay, yeah, that's a red flag. So maybe you control it more. You control more of the interactions. And that's the thing with us, is that we want to believe so bad. We want people to like us so bad. And Dana talks about this with the empty buckets, right? We want people to like us so bad that when they tell us something, and have you ever had this happen where when they tell us one thing, you can't hear the rest of what they're saying? I remember I got a new suit when I was younger, and I was like looking at it, and I paid big bucks for it. A friend of mine I worked with, he was older than me, and he's like, I'm going to take you suit shopping. We're going to go check this place out. So we went there. I got a brand new tailored suit. I spent a lot of money on it. I was new in the corporate world, and I was like, wow, this is, it's great. So I remember walking into the office one day, and one of the girls, she was kind of problematic. She was like a manipulator. I wouldn't say she was like I didn't get that far out of work. She tried to get me to go out for drinks afterwards. And I'm in my 20s. She's in her 40s. I'm like, ding, 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 alarm bells were going off. Anyways, I'm going to tell you about this person. What she did was when I walked in, and I had just spent all this money, and I'm kind of justifying to myself, like, yeah, I really like this suit. And, I like it, and, I'm feeling good. And when I walked in, she's like, wow, you look incredible. That suit is awesome. And tell me if you guys do this, okay? I bet you do. When she told me that, anything else she said after that, I didn't hear it all, or I'd nod my head. I was still thinking about wow, I do look, oh man, I just love that she flattered me like that. It's like, tell me more, but here's the thing, is that I had all this noise in my head. I had that thought was still running around my head that I couldn't hear the rest of what she was saying. And that kind of operated with the way I was for a lot of things in life, is that if somebody flatters me or does something for me, I don't really question. I'm drawn to that person, right? Because they're doing this for me. Not realizing, because I'm a good person, so they're a good person. They're just doing it out of their own goodness of their heart. Well, everybody's doing something for a reason. I'm doing this video for a reason. This video helps me clear out my cobwebs and helps me be a better admin, because I like seeing this. I love helping people grow, okay? I love it. And why? Why do I like that? Why does Josh like that? Why does it? Because it validates me that I'm a person that can actually affect lives. It's so, and why do I have to feel important or something? I don't know. That's just what I do, okay? And I just like to get better, and I like to help other people get better. It's like a connection. It's like I like getting connected to you guys. So, but anyways, I've got to wrap this up in about 30 seconds. So, why do narcs lie? Because they can. They're good at it. They've been practicing a long time. They don't have the same remorse or that little conscience bell going off saying, I don't think that was a good idea. They don't do that. It's almost like a challenge for them. It's a game to them if they can get away with the lie. All the boo-hooing and stuff, it's not real. They're not really connected to their feelings. Number one thing you'll see is that if they do something to you that they know is wrong, well, they don't necessarily know it's wrong. They just know it's good for them. Okay, doesn't matter what is wrong, or right or wrong. If it's good for them, they do it. They don't see the big picture. They don't take other people's feelings into account. So they will never really be that far ahead in life. Oh yes, you'll have narcs that are very successful. They'll be like the head of the hospital wing. But they're crappy people, and the people they have around them, they have to get around them for. They have to lie. They have to lie to get people around them. That's how they survive. So it's kind of the whole gist of the video, right? They lie to survive. So I hope you guys don't go out there lying. Now, what if you say, well, I'm going to tell if you hear these things, well, tell yourself you're great and everything. Well, I'm lying to myself, though. No, there's just some stuff look, if you're here and you're listening to this and you're sticking to this, you're empathetic. There's character in you. There's character in you. Now, the narcs may have, messed with your character, but you can get it back. You can grow. You can metamorphose. You can change. The narcs can't change. They really can't. I mean, unless something really drastic happens with them, they can't change. Okay? You can, and you will, and you're here, and just take all this in. You think it's Monday, okay? It's Monday here in the States. If you think you're going to have a bad day, you will. Don't. Direct yourself to where you give yourself positiveness. They call it self-care. Take care of yourself. Don't, we're so used to taking care of other people. That's what we were raised to do, that's the only way to do it. No, there's two ways to do it. There's a balance. There's a balance of taking care of you so you can take care of others. The old oxygen first mask, on the plane where they say, if you have a child, if you have a minor, you want to do your first so you can save the other people. Well, you need to save yourself first. And that's not being selfish. It's not being, you're going to get called selfish by problematic people. You're selfish because you're taking away time from them that you would normally give them. Yeah. Don't listen to that. You're being told lies. Again, full circle. So, all right, guys. Love you. Bye.